Joanna Dennehy became the personification of evil. Her heinous crimes earned her the nickname of the most dangerous woman in England. Without remorse, she became one of the most feared serial killers in all of Europe and across the world.
This is a young woman using a knife to repeatedly stab somebody, and for that reason alone makes her a hands-on, bloodlusting killer. I can't describe how evil this woman is. I really can't. She's the worst I've ever met.
Renowned for having a strong temper and an uncontrollable alcohol problem, Joanna had become a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. However, at times, she seemed to move away from that side of her, becoming a relatively normal person.
In 1999, you moved into a house together, and pretty soon after that, she fell pregnant with your first child. And you said throughout the pregnancy, she was very responsible. She
didn't
drinking.
drink, no, she didn't smoke, she didn't do anything. She had a clean pregnancy. That's the case for both of my children, yeah.
Her behavior was very changeable, although the need to cause harm to someone was always in her. That is how she murdered 3 men and injured 2 others, all within the space of just 10 days. However, the biggest surprise of all would happen at the police station.
One mark for attempted murder and murder. Attempted murder and murder, something. So going down for Sunday Rose. Excuse me.
The lightness with which she spoke of the charges impacted the police officers who were there, but also the families of those she had murdered. Joanna's crimes went down in England's criminal history. Of course, there wasn't a specific reason behind any of them. She basically committed them to quench her thirst for blood.
And she plunges this 5-inch lock knife into his back, time and time and time again. The man thought he'd been punched. He turned around and saw her covered in his blood. He collapsed. She calmly walked away and got in the car and said to Stretch, "No, let's go and find somebody else."
Tenemos que entender que la psiquis de este tipo de personas no funciona de manera normal, ¿ya? Aquí hay un juicio de realidad alterado y un sentido de realidad también que se pierde en esos momentos impulsivos donde comete estos actos, ¿ya? Es por eso que esa satisfacción, ese placer, se ve trasladado a algo que es grave, un crimen.
Joanna's personality also became the subject of study. Her poor ability to control her anger, but more specifically, her intrinsic need to harm people, were truly hard to explain. No one could understand who she really was.
We're quite quick to point to Joanna Dennehy's masculine traits because they're the ones that are most visible to us. Her aggression and her violence and the very brutal way in which she perpetrated these murders. But I don't think she's somebody who would be like that all the time, because that wouldn't serve her needs all of the time. I think sometimes she was feminine.
At the time, the investigators, psychologists, and criminologists suggested that the brutality of her crimes weren't those of a woman. And that's why Joanna's case became so interesting. Because it also meant a paradigm shift in the way women are viewed by society.
I think the reason that we're so fascinated and so shocked by female serial killers is because of our general expectations of the role of women in society. We expect them to be the carers and the nurturers and the givers rather than the takers of life.
Joanna Dennehy went on to become a celebrity of sorts. The nickname of the most dangerous woman in England fit her perfectly. The sentence? Life imprisonment for the 3 murders. But she also earned a life of fame for her unusual personality and her horrific crimes.